Hi, everyone. So my name is Melissa Sanchez, and I will be helping just moderate this workshop with everybody. So I do have four lovely ladies here that are personal friends of mine, which are really, just amazing women of how they just started a lot of their small businesses, especially during the pandemic, was beyond me, right? I'm not a small business owner, but I give so much props to these ladies for everything that they've done. And I, definitely try to make sure that I am buying from small businesses and making sure that we're supporting them, especially during very hard times at this moment. So I wanted to go ahead and just present a lot of the services that they're providing. I got an array of different places. So we got some apparel, earrings, we got cake pops and other like fun goodies, and then as well as a florist here. So we got an array of different services that we can provide here through the workshop. And they're just going to talk a little bit more about their experiences, but I want to make sure that they can present themselves as we're going through the PowerPoint, and we'll also have more of like an open dialogue workshop. So feel free to go ahead and just start asking questions right away. I will have some set up just to kind of get us going in the beginning, and then we can start taking questions through the chat, or if you wanted to go ahead and raise your hand and directly, speak to one of the other presenters here, then we can go ahead and get it started that way. So it's pretty flexible, because I think I definitely want you all to kind of gauge if you're thinking about creating a small business and just don't know where to start, really pick the mind of these ladies, because they're brilliant in what they've done. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to just do some brief introductions, and we're going to get started with, well, you guys already know me. We'll come back to any other some other social media stuff here as well. But I want to get started with Lena. So if Lena, you can take a few minutes to go ahead and just introduce yourself. And then this is their information here. So if you wanted to kind of jot that down from the beginning, feel free to do so, but I will always go back at the end of the presentation if you want to grab their info.
Thank you, Melissa. My name is Lena Cano. I am the creator of Lee's Simple Sweets. So what I do is I create a variety of sweets, including dipped pretzels, Oreos, Rice Krispies. I love to make cake pops, and of course, strawberries. I make personal edible arrangements, and I sell them. On the Full-time, I am a medical assistant in neurosciences, so making sweets is my side hustle. And I started making treats in 2016 and just started selling them publicly to everyone else this past summer, so June of 2020. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Lena. We can go ahead and move on to Tati. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Tatiana Diaz, and I am the florist at Thrive Floral Designs. So a little bit about how my passion started. I used to work in my aunt's flower shop throughout high school. I decided to go to college, get my career, and I pursued a career as a full-time nanny. And I've been with the family for 5 years, but my youngest is going to school full-time next year. So this whole idea of opening my own small business started during quarantine when I was on lockdown for 2 months. I'm like, oh my God, I just realized my youngest child is going to first grade. He's going to be full-time. He might not need me anymore. What can I do to like still stick to this family still? Because I'm so attached. I don't see myself leaving them, but at the same time, I need to like get something where I can earn my own money, like get my own business. And that's when I'm like, well, I have the skills. I remember like lots of my techniques and mechanics were learned from my aunt's flower shop. So I'm like, I'm just going to start this florist business. I'm like, even if it's just for friends and family, that's totally fine. Like I'm happy with whatever I get. And I started it in August, I believe it's about to be a year. And thankfully it's been going good. I concentrate more on like special event flowers, but I do like special arrangements as well.
Thank you. All right, Ilse.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ilse Leanos, I am the maker and creator of Lea Made Clay. I actually started Lea Made Clay during quarantine as well. With quarantine happening and having a little one, I had to leave my full-time job, and I just kind of wanted it to create kind of like a hobby. It actually started as a hobby, and then I started posting it on social media. People started requesting a purchase. So that's kind of how it became into a business. But it was really just me trying to find something to occupy myself now that I wasn't working full time. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Thank you. And last but not least, we got Genesis.
Hi everyone, my name is Genesis. I'm the owner of Radiance Threads. So Radiance Threads is an Etsy shop and we sell apparel for women. Currently we're selling t-shirts and sweatshirts, but we're hoping to expand the collection in the near future. And Radiance Threads is my side hustle, quote unquote. I work full-time at the Alzheimer's Association. I'm working as part of a research study to try to find preventative treatment for Alzheimer's disease. And I started Radiance Threads with my husband in September of 2020. So it's only been around for a few months, but I'm really enjoying it. And I hope that I can provide some useful information for you all who are thinking about starting a small business.
Thank you so much, ladies. So let's talk about some questions. The first one I think that everybody's really curious about, and you all have already kind of mentioned a little bit about it, but how do you describe your work life and your side gig balance? Like, how do you balance it all right now? Maybe what are some tips or some organization skills that you do to also keep your time management down? For anybody that wants to go, this is a free one. And really quick, if there's anybody that has questions, feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand and we can go ahead and get intermingled with this too.
I can go. So something that has really helped me out a lot to balance my day job and the side hustle is to calendar block. So in case you don't know what calendar blocking is, it's basically, breaking down your day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep into like 15 to 30-minute chunks. And it really helps just to take a look at how much time you really have and to try to maximize your time and squeeze in little things here and there. So if I see that I have 30 minutes before I start work, then that's 30 minutes where I can, work on some Instagram posts. Or if I have an hour before bed, then that's another hour that I can utilize to work on the business. So that's something that's helped me out a lot.
Yeah, so like I said, I do work full time as a medical assistant. That's in healthcare. I work Monday through Friday. So what really helps me is at the end of each month, I post a calendar on my social media for the following month. And I have like a little key, and that helps me. So if I have a special event coming, family event, if I just need a self-care day, I make sure to block that day off. That way I'm not going to receive any orders those days. And I have a policy, so I know that I let my clients know that I'm only available during the week, after a certain time, so that I give myself enough time to come home from my full-time job. I know how long it takes me to make sweets. That way I can arrange pickups those ways. And then on the weekends, I try to have everything done by a certain time. That way I still have time to spend with my family. Or like I said, if I have something else going on, then I'm not interfering with that or using all my time on my small business to have that work-life balance.
So just like Lena, I do kind of like a calendar. But what I do with my earrings is make a collection and kind of plan my collection throughout the month, which day I'm going to release. That way I kind of give myself enough time to make the earrings, but also being able to balance being home with my little one all day. So I kind of have this thing where I tell people I'm a mama in the morning, and then at nights I set aside 3 hours to just focus on my business.
And I guess talking about social media, I know Genesis, you touched a little bit on this. What are maybe some platforms that you ladies use to sell your products or services? What are some things that you would recommend?
I use, oh, go ahead, Tati.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
No.
I use Instagram and Facebook, and Pinterest is technically not social media. It's a visual search engine, but I use Pinterest as well. Still trying to build my followers. It's something that it has been a struggle for me, but something that really helps save time is that I use a scheduler. So I use something called Tailwind. There are a few others that are free, like I know Later has a free version, but I really like Tailwind. So that way I can, at the end of the week, like maybe on Sunday, schedule a week's worth of posts so that I don't have to keep doing that like every day or every other day.
For my business, I think mainly a lot of the revenue comes from Instagram and Facebook. I recently launched my website and I have a few inquiries through the website. But mainly through Instagram, I just use there's an algorithm that's really helpful where if you post at a certain time and day and like, there's tips and tricks that can help you get more followers, and those followers can be potential clients. So I would recommend like do research on the Instagram algorithm, and then Facebook as well. I just copy and paste everything I put on Instagram, and that's how I get a few clients through Facebook, but majority is through Instagram.
All of my suites I post on Instagram. I have not really set up my Facebook suites page yet. That is hopefully soon. But everything is on Instagram. And also I hope that when I find that a lot of my clients do gift suites to each other. So I think that's how I kind of sell things is if they've tried it from being at someone else's event or getting the suites as a gift.
So just like the rest of the ladies, social media, Instagram in particular, has been very helpful. And just to answer the question that someone, I think Lizette just popped in, yeah, showing a lot of behind the scenes. So if you're just starting out, showing how you make your product and how you go about it really does help build your following and kind of that word of mouth.
Does anybody else have anything to add to Lizette's question? So she asked, what type of content do you see most interactions on social media, like behind the scenes, showing the product being made, etc., trying to build a following and not sure how to get interactions. Thank you.
Yeah, I find when I'm making suites, I like to, if I have time, post stories. I love getting reactions from the stories, like just mixing the chocolate, spraying, glitter on stuff. So just really like, yeah, I guess behind the scenes, showing people how I make the treats, or packaging. I love packaging. So I find a lot of people do react through stories, which go through your DMs, and then those also become potential clients.
So how do you think social media has impacted your business, whether positively or negatively, if you guys can share some of those experiences?
I can answer this one. So I think social media has definitely helped me in a positive way. I recently, through there, I've been able to network with a lot of business owners in the same niche, I guess, like So mainly mine is like the wedding flowers. So it's catered more to couples that are getting married, and therefore they're looking for photographers, they're looking for venues, they're looking for like invitation makers. So through Instagram, I follow all of those people that will be within my own network, and we have scheduled like style shoots, and there you can kind of share your own clients with each other. They'll tag you, and that way they can find, if they post a picture and they tag you, then they can go directly to your page, and there they find, it's like their one spot where they can find the florist, they can find the invitation maker, the bridal place. So I definitely take advantage of the social media in a networking way, because there's plenty of people that you can meet, and that's one way that I do it, through social media.
So for me, I'm still trying to build my social media following. It's definitely been a positive experience, and it has had a positive impact on our Etsy shop. I think for the most part right now, our followers are friends and family or friends of friends. It hasn't really expanded to followers that we don't know or are connected to it somehow in some way. So I think right now it's just been helpful to, communicate with our close circle of friends of what we're releasing, any new products that we have in case they want to purchase them or share with friends that they have. But currently still working on our social media following to hopefully expand to a bigger network.
So we did get a question in the chat. Has anyone used Amazon to affiliate with tax classification? Would you recommend? So you can either add on that, or if there's anything else that you wanted to add on the social media question too. So I don't think any of you ladies have used the Amazon, okay, to affiliate with them. The other question was, if you have a website, do you need an LLC? I know some of you ladies have websites.
So I'll jump into this one. You don't need an LLC. You typically need an LLC once your business has grown and you have assets that you could potentially lose. But if you're just starting out, I would definitely say contact a CPA, so an accountant, whoever does your taxes. They could actually help you navigate with that, because once you reach a certain threshold, you'll need to ensure that your business is registered, even if it's just as a sole proprietor. And just what that means is you would utilize your social security number to kind of run your business, but you definitely don't need an LLC to open up your website. You can actually start without even having to register your business, but just know once you do reach a certain revenue, it'll automatically, so for example, any e-commerce website will automatically ask you to register your business to have that tax ID number.
Anybody else with the website that has any additional input?
So I also have a website, and I didn't need, I file under a sole proprietor. So for flowers to buy wholesale, I needed to get my certificate of resale. And through that, I had to do it under my social security number and file as a sole proprietor. And from there, that's the only, you need that tax ID number that you get from filing as a sole proprietor to open up a bank account. So other than that, it's either you need the tax ID number for a bank account and for wholesale items. But other than that, for website, you just need your creativity and payment, and that's basically it. So yeah, I file as a sole proprietor, I work under my social, and then that's something that I do now, like it was mentioned, once you reach a certain revenue, you do need to take into consideration that you should probably go into LLC or incorporation.
So in the chat, Lizette asked, when it comes to registering your small business, do you need an LLC, S Corp? What about insurance? She said that she had sold on Etsy for a bit, but was a little bit confused about the tax part of it all. So I don't know if anybody has any feedback about that.
Yeah, so how I'm currently working is under a sole proprietor. I am required by the state of Illinois to submit my monthly profits. Every month you have to go into the Illinois, I think it's like Illinois tax website. And you are, even if you make $0 that month, you are supposed to submit on a monthly basis your profit. What about insurance? I don't have any insurance currently, since it's just me, myself, and my mom working for the business. But there is, in my situation as a florist, there is like event insurance that you get for certain events.
Does anybody know the amount you have to make to get the LLC off the chance?
I don't know the exact amount, but really what the LLC is, let's say you have your own warehouse, any assets that you could potentially lose. So if someone were to sue you, you want to make sure you have that LLC because it'll protect you from losing everything you have. So that's kind of a little bit going into LLC. That's kind of what I've read, and a really good website to look into whenever you want to start a business, a small business, is small business. It's sba.gov, and they break everything down by your county, by your state, kind of what steps to take. So I would definitely encourage you to check that out. That's kind of the website that I went into to figure out what I needed to really start this business.
Thank you. So I am going to shift it back to something that Tati had said earlier about having to network with other businesses and how do you support each other through that aspect. So can you talk about any collaborations that you've done with other small businesses in the past or are currently doing right now?
So I haven't done any big collaborations yet. I did do back in the fall, I did like a giveaway with a realtor. And I feel like that we kind of helped each other out as far as the following. So he just wanted to, he likes to support small businesses. So he kind of like a giveaway on Instagram. He promoted me in my suites, and then, you know, you tag different people, and that's how they chose a winner. I also have another friend who bakes. She bakes different, more like cakes, different sweets than I do. So we are planning on doing a giveaway together, and I think that'll help the both of us kind of show more of our work and get a bigger following.
So just like Lena, I've done giveaways with other small business owners that kind of helps you with your social media following. I also did a in-person appearance for a small boutique in Chicago. So that brought me a lot of more following as well. And we kind of helped each other out for them to promote their boutique and myself to promote my product. And then even with my product, I actually look for other small business suppliers and makers to help with any of the findings of my earrings. So it allows me to be able to support other small businesses as I'm making my own product. Those are kind of some of the ways.
Thank you. So let's talk about how I think what like the hardest thing about also like creating a small business is setting up the pricing for your products or services. So, you know, what has been the process for each of you, especially because we're in a couple different areas to kind of set some of those pricings for your products or services?
I think for me, it was just basing it off of how much it would cost me to have that product made, and then also doing some research on what is the average pricing of similar items on Etsy. So the apparel that we sell is actually print on demand. So we don't actually make any of the t-shirts or sweatshirts here at home. We have a professional printing company print them out and then send them directly to the customer. And so it is kind of costly to do it that way, but we just don't have the material or equipment or the time to be able to make each of these t-shirts and sweatshirts here at home. So we would definitely just consider that cost, how much it would cost us to make it, and then just researching other similar items on Etsy.
Oh, I thought.
Pricing for me, I'm still learning just because every item is different. So since I do labor work, I just don't know how long it's going to take me. So that's something I'm learning along the way that I'm still working on. Same with flowers, depending on the season, every flower has a different price. So that's something that I'm also working on learning a lot, because clients request something and I got to give them a price as they ask, even if I don't know the price, and I just assume. And then that's something I learn along the way once I actually make it. And from there, I take notes. And so yeah, pricing is a challenge for me just because I recently started and there's different seasons of flowers, and that's something that I do. I'm still learning.
I think pricing is the hardest for everyone when you start your business. But what I do is I actually take a labor, so my time. At the beginning, I started timing how long it took me to make each product, and kind of like an hourly pay that I was going to give myself, and break it down by the time that it takes you to make that product. Material, so keeping an Excel spreadsheet of what each material costs you, and then packaging as well. And then that would give you your total of the cost of item that it costs you to make. And then I take 30 to 50% of that and add it on, and that would give me my final cost. So that way you subtract the 50% of what your cost to make it, take 50%, add that, and that would give you your profit. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
For me, since they are sweet, the only problem, I guess I kind of do struggle with pricing as well. But like lately, I'm sure if you go to the grocery store, you see strawberries prices have like skyrocketed. You know, one week it's $7 a box, another week it's 99 cents. Like it really just differs. So I'm trying to figure that out as far as strawberries, because that is my most requested treat to make. So I'm trying to find a price that benefits me, but also that I'm not I don't feel that I'm overcharging. And then everything else, I feel like I have a base price, and depending on what the request is, if it's more detailed, if it's gonna ask for more like images on it, if they're cake pops, are they decorated sticks, are they plain sticks, so just kind of going based on the detail of what's being asked.
Thank you for sharing. I know Gabriella put a question on the chat. She mentioned any upcoming virtual or pop-up shop opportunities, and how can others join as partners or collaborators? I don't have any, I haven't done any pop-up shops yet. I do hope to maybe as things open up more
especially with sweets. I try to keep them more personal now. But as things open up, I hope to join more pop-ups. But for now, like I said, and this coming week, I'll be doing a giveaway with one other baker. So I think that's kind of how I'm just collabing right now.
For joining collaborations, I usually have photographers or like venues reach out, or I also go ahead and reach out to local photographers and be like, hey, if you have a bridal style shoot coming up, I would love to donate a bridal bouquet. And that way it's like favor for favor. You donate the bridal bouquet and they donate the professional photos. That way it saves you costs on hiring a photographer. And then like I said, then it's networking within their followers and your followers, and that's how you can grow together. So yeah.
So we've all had that experience. I mean, whether that's with a small business or maybe you work in retail or any other maybe job that you might have had, where sometimes we just deal with, bad customers, or just, how do you guys handle that if, you've ever had a bad experience with a client or a customer? What did you do after? And maybe did you learn from it? Did you have to do something different when you've kind of noticed some of these things as well?
So with mine, I feel like not so much bad customers, just bad experiences where maybe it was just bad communication on both ends as far as like pickup times. I tried to be very specific and more cater to their needs. Okay, like, what time would you like your treats by? They say 2 o'clock, and then it's 3:30 and I haven't heard from them. Then, that's where I start thinking, oh, I should have asked for a deposit. Because you haven't heard from them. And then I'm thinking, did I waste my time just making this? So just kind of being better at communicating as far as times for pickups, or if it is a delivery. And how I deal with that is I put out policies. And I realized once I did put out policies and I put that on my highlighting page, that really helps because people do read those policies. They do look through your page, through your highlights, and they note to themselves, okay, I need to make an order 5 days ahead. She does have a late fee, or I need to pick up by this time and available dates. I also found myself saying yes to everything. So even if I was super booked, I still say, yes, I can make it. And then I'm rushing. So I don't like that feeling. So now I noticed I need to say, if I'm booked, I'm booked. And unfortunately, I can't take any more orders. But that does help me. And then thankfully, they just order for the day before or something. So it works out for the both of us.
I haven't had like a bad experience with any customers yet. I did get kind of like negative feedback from one of my friends. And it's really challenging because, like you mentioned, Melissa, if you've worked in customer service, and I've worked in the restaurant industry, it's different. I've worked with challenging customers like at a restaurant, and I feel like when it's about your small business, it's hard not to take it personal. So that's been the real challenge. That was the only encounter I had, but I had to really, just be mindful and not be quick to jump on the defense, which is what my instinct was to do. And just really try to understand where they're coming from and, try to adopt this mentality of, the customer is always right. And of course, being a small business owner, we strive to have our customers be 100% satisfied. That's definitely what we're aiming to do. So just doing whatever it takes to make things right.
Tati, Ilse, anything to add? Okay, so so Natalie did mention on the chat, yes, deposits I've learned are crucial. I'm a painter, and when I first started, I didn't ask for deposits. And then long wait times for responses led me to the deposits. Yeah, and I think I can see how Lena's shaking her head, that sounds familiar. So I think that was important. That was one of the things that we talked about right off the bat. And I was like, well, if there's been any bad experiences that kind of led you to change things about your business. And that was one of the big ones too, that, you know, the deposits could be important for small businesses to keep the flow going. So curious to know, just a little bit more personal, how did you get inspired to create your small business? You know, did you all have some sort of mentorship or somebody that kind of helped you collaborate with what you're doing right now or guide you, any of that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, if there was anybody who inspired you to create your small business, or was it just like, was it a mentorship or was it research? How did you kind of get it started?
For me, I think it was really encouragement from family and friends. I believe we ourselves are worst critics. So I always feel like, no, it's not that good. I can do better. There's people way better than me. And then just encouragement, especially from my husband, like, no, you really should try selling this. Just try, like, you know, what can go wrong? So then I'm just finally got the courage to make an Instagram page. And then, so yeah, just family and friends really encouraging me in trying my sweets and letting me know that they were satisfied with them. It made their event special. So that's when I decided to start sharing them with everyone else.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, Lena. For me, it was the same, just encouragement from others. You know, for a long time, we'd been just making things for friends as gifts and family. And we would always, my husband and I would always get, you know, compliments and be told like, wow, you're so creative. How did you think about this? And, you know, those types of things that made me realize, yeah, you know what, we probably could make money off of this. Why don't we give it a shot? And my husband's a graphic designer, so he designs all of our t-shirts and sweatshirts. So I'm very blessed that he has talent on that end. But yeah, then we just started doing a whole bunch of research, watching a lot of YouTube videos. So definitely recommend that. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
I think mine was the passion for like modern design. I was so used to like the typical baby's breath greenery roses bouquets. And I'm like, you know, I want to put my modern twist to it, like the modern garden. My father's a landscaper and I've worked with him for years. And I'm so used to like going into the garden and admiring like the garden inspired way that roses grow. And I'm like, I can totally do this into like vases instead of doing it the traditional way. So mine was like my passion in trendy modern design that pushed me to put my own twist on my work. And then spending hours on Pinterest, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to recreate this. Like I can totally do this. So I think that's what pushed me to open up my florist business.
And then I think just for myself, it was really encouragement as well from friends and family. And just since it started as a hobby and just kind of finding my own niche while staying home, just really getting encouragement from my husband as well. Like, okay, this is what you can do, you know, for yourself, and having that encouragement from friends and family asking to purchase really pushed me to open my business.
Thank you, ladies. Gabriella put a question on the chat for new small business owners. What are the top 3 to 5 things they need to create or consider? And what are some resources they should check out?
So some of the things that I let people know when they ask me, particularly this question, is make sure that you are doing bookkeeping when you start off. Save all your receipts, really important. Even if you don't know where your business is going to lead you to, definitely bookkeep. The second one would be get an accountant or a CPA that will help you a lot during tax season. And then the third one, and I think the most crucial, is really setting boundaries. So setting boundaries within your business and your personal life. At the beginning, I would respond to every Instagram message that would come through, accommodate every order that I had, even though it interfered sometimes with my own like personal life. So definitely setting boundaries and times, so that way you're not breaking that work-life balance.
Anybody else have something to add to Gabriella's question?
I think I definitely agree with Ilse. As far as resources, I feel like I just did a lot of research or YouTubed certain things if I wasn't to perfect my cake pops, like, okay, what are other people doing? So I just watch YouTube, follow people that do the same thing as you. I know for me, there are a lot of like sweet makers in California, Los Angeles. So I like to follow them, and a lot of them share tips and tricks. So I'm still learning and just learn from them. Those are my resources, and just Googling things. A lot of things you could find on Google, and then just I feel like one website leads you to another, forums, just researching.
Do have a question in the chat from Lisette. Was there a time that you made a mistake that led to a pivotal turning point and led you to success? If so, what did you do to get past it? And is there something that you can share with us that you'd wish you knew before getting started?
I feel like the mistake I made was my first holiday sale, which was, I think it was Halloween. I set out samples for what I was going to be selling. The mistake that I think I made was being way too detailed and asking each person, again, like saying yes to everybody. Okay, what design do you want? What lettering do you want? And not timing myself right. So I just felt so rushed. And I think then really taught me like I need to time better, have less personal for holiday options. Like for this Valentine's Day was very successful for me. I feel I put my options out right, didn't ask for too much personalization, and timing was perfect. So I hope that answers that question. Oh, and something I wish I knew before starting. Actually, I don't know the answer right now. Sorry.
I can answer the last question, something I wish I knew before starting. And it's something I currently still struggle with is, just black and white thinking of this needs to be perfect. Whatever I put out needs to be perfect. It took us quite a while to actually open the Etsy shop because of that, mentality that I had, that I felt like it needed to be just absolutely perfect when it was released. And it's something that I still struggle with. So I think, something is better than nothing. Having it done is better than not having it done. So I think that's probably the best advice I have if you're thinking about starting a small business, is just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just go for it.
Bethy, Ilse, anything that you wanted to add to Lizette's question?
I think just for myself, something I wish I knew before starting was really saving my receipts and bookkeeping, because it was really hard during my 2020 taxes, kind of figuring all that out. And then once I broke it down, I realized how little I was actually charging, and that I actually took a big loss during that year. And again, I was just starting out, but if anyone could give me any advice, was definitely like save your receipts, make sure you're not selling yourself short.
One thing I can think of is what I wish I knew before starting is knowing that your business has potential, like being comfortable, and I didn't realize where my business would be in a few months, and now it's challenging because I'm like, now I'm trying to balance my full-time job and the success of this small business. So just knowing that it has potential and sky is really the limit, where you have to make sure that it's either you're going to go all in or it's not going to work out. So just realizing that it can go very well and being prepared for everything that comes along with that.
Thank you, ladies. So, quick question. How do you personally define business success? Is it through money, freedom, influence, creative expression, innovation, maybe something else?
I think for me, it's a little bit of all of the above. My husband tells me all the time, make sure you are still loving what you're doing, because sometimes I feel very stressed, like, I don't know, like this is taking so much time. But every time when I'm done and making a tree, I'm always trying to take pictures of them. And it's just that feeling of satisfaction. Like I love it. So I think that just continue loving what I'm doing and sharing it with others.
Melissa, do you mind asking the question again?
Yeah. So how do you personally define business success? Is it through money, freedom, influence, creative expression, innovation, or something else for you?
For me, I would say it's the creative expression. I love anything artsy and crafty, I don't have a day job in the arts. So I think this is really just an outlet for me to be able to utilize my creativity. I don't want to, use it or lose it. I don't want to lose my creativity. And so this is kind of an outlet for me to continue just being creative in that way.
I think for myself as well, it's more of a creative outlet. Being a stay-at-home mom definitely has a benefit of getting some revenue out of it, but mainly for me, it's my hobby, it's my thing, to be able to get away and kind of focus on myself. So I would definitely say creative outlet, and then the money is just an added bonus.
And I think mine would be influence, because part of my promise is for every arrangement I make, I donate to a nonprofit organization. And the more influence I get from other people, that means the more donations that I can make. And that just warms up my heart. I know it makes my clients feel good that they think they helped do their part and help in a nonprofit organization. So making a bigger influence is what makes me happy and makes my business successful.
So what does the end game look for you ladies? What's the dream for you? What would you say, yep, this was it. This is how I envisioned it for you ladies in your small business?
So right now, like I said, I do a lot of personalized treats. I hope to open like a bakery would be amazing, but I know that it's going to take a long time, especially because right now I do work out of my home. But I would love to make sweets tables, when things get more normal, for baby showers. I feel like a wedding is huge, bridal showers, so just bigger events, making sweets tables. I think I would love to do that. That would feel satisfying to me since a lot of my orders have just been small orders, personal, just for one or two people. So being able to make treats for a big event would be satisfying for me, I think.
I think my end goal for my business would be making it a profitable business where it can be flexible, where I can raise my family and be my own boss and not worry about like, I guess raising the kids and worry about money at the same time, just making it enough where I can live a comfortable life and be passionate about what I'm doing.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, it would be a dream come true to make this like my full-time gig. That would be absolutely amazing. So, I mean, hopefully that's what we're working towards. So hopefully one day that's where it can lead us.
And then I think my end goal is really just continuing to enjoy what I'm doing as a hobby. And then eventually, once things get a little bit back to normal, going to craft shows, um, other boutiques, that kind of stuff.
Thank you, ladies. We do have one more question in the chat, if any of y'all can answer it. So aside social media apps, are there any other apps that you use on a daily basis that helps you with your business, like photo editing, organization apps, inventory apps, or etc.?
Yeah, other than social media, another thing I use is Google Business. And that's when someone looks up my name or looks up a florist near me, my name automatically pops up. And for opening up your business on Google Business, all you need is I think all you need is a phone number. You don't have to put your address on there. So I work from home and I don't feel comfortable putting my address on Google. And they have that option where all you have to list is your website and your phone number. And clients can also send you direct messages through Google Business. So that's another useful app that I've been using, and it's been very helpful. And I have had a few inquiries through that. And photo editing, I just use Instagram and the iPhone photo gallery.
Yeah, I don't use many other apps other than Instagram. I'm trying to be more efficient on Excel, just for organization of orders. And as far as photo editing, I try to take a lot of my photos, if hopefully it's sunlight out, like in direct sunlight, because that's always the best lighting, especially for treats. Or in my kitchen, thankfully I have the best lighting in there. And I also use a white poster board for my background, just to make it more clean. And that really helps me, I feel, make the photos show better on my feed.
So for photo editing, I use Lightroom, which is an app, but I definitely try to make sure that there's natural light, so sunlight. And during the days that there's no natural sunlight, I actually went on Amazon and bought a little photo like booth. You can just search up photo booth. They're not really that expensive, but they definitely help with quality of your pictures. But those are mainly the only apps. And then for my e-commerce website, they also have a bunch of apps on there, just kind of depending on what you're looking for. But for inventory, I just use an Excel spreadsheet at the moment.
Ruby, I know you had a question. Did you want to unmute yourself to ask? I don't know if she's still on.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. The question that everybody is wondering, how do you guys stay so beautiful, youthful, and illuminating with all of this hard work? You guys, no, I'm serious. You guys all look great. And I mean, so much great wealth of knowledge from all of you. I really appreciate it. And, you know, as a group of women here, I think answer that we should all know is like, how can we help to kind of help support you? You know, like, how can we be a support system to the female business owners in our lives? I know, like, sharing you guys on Instagram, like, what else can we do to help kind of support and share that love?
Well, thank you for the lovely comment. I think what really helps is, honestly, I feel like sharing, even if it's sharing to your story. I'm not too familiar with like these new Instagram rules or how things get more shown. But to me, it means a lot when someone just shares my treats, whether that's referring someone over, commenting, liking, like it. I think it's just the interaction on right now, my only social media is Instagram. So just interacting and feedback, referrals.
Yeah, I'm with Lena. Just, you know, engagement on social media, I think is really important, especially for those of us who are struggling in that arena a little bit. So I think that's just really important. So that's something that would, I know, really help out our business. But thanks, Ruby, for your willingness to help out and your enthusiasm. I love it.
Yeah, same. Just mainly sharing, liking, saving posts, referring for people that have Etsy, liking those people's shop really helps us out as well. Leaving reviews, that really helps us as well, get more customer base, especially through Etsy. A lot of people look at those reviews when they're selecting sellers.
Yeah, I think like the girls mentioned, like interaction, word of mouth, reviews, and then words of encouragement and reassurance is really important for me. I have such a great friend supports that keep reminding me like, okay, you're doing great. Or like my mom, like sometimes when I'm like, oh my God, is this okay? You think I did this right? And then she's like, you're doing fine. So that helps me, that keeps me going, and that motivates me. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I had a quick question earlier. Do any of you ladies use ClickFunnels? Michelle said that it has helped her learn about the marketing and the networking aspect of things. No.
I don't use ClickFunnels, but I do use on Instagram. So a lot of the advertising. So you can promote your pictures, and it kind of gives you an idea of the people that are looking at your pictures, kind of where they're based off of, female, male. A lot of that information is helpful. And it also lets you know kind of like the algorithm of when people are looking at your posts as well. And then I also have for Instagram reports. I think it's called iReports. And it just lets you know, again, like the people that are following you, people that have unfollowed, and that way you can kind of see a trend of what are the kind of people that are following you and unfollowing you, reasons why.
Thank you, Elsa. That was really helpful. All right, well, we're almost hitting to our end mark here. So I did put everybody's social media and contact information, especially for what we got coming up right next, because these lovely ladies did an awesome thing, and they are going to go ahead and be doing a promo code for the month of March. So if you're interested in purchasing any of their products, please make sure that you're contacting them through their social medias or emails, however they work best. And using the promo code WEC for Women Empowerment Conference 21. So then that way they can provide you with some sort of promo for their business. So that's just something for the future. And like I said, that will end on March, the end of March, the 31st. Make sure y'all remember that. All right, and we appreciate each and every one of you for being here and supporting us and also supporting small businesses. Like I've mentioned right now with everything with the pandemic, it's been a little nuts, and we want to make sure that we're supporting our little businesses that are making huge efforts, not only, for themselves to making sure that they're getting it day by day, but, for just everybody in the community. I think it's going to benefit. And so please support these ladies. They're doing an awesome job. And I can vouch for them 100% that everything that they do, because I'm sure I bought from all of them. And we'll continue buying from all of them. Their business is amazing. So, please also feel free to contact them. They've given me permission to say that if you have any other questions about maybe getting started with small businesses, we know, and they understand that this is difficult, right? And sometimes you might need some of that mentorship or guidance for your small business, and they'd be happy to provide some of that for you as well. So if there's not any other last minute comments from any of our presenters.
Just thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time. Yeah, that's it. Just thanks so much.
Yep, same. Just thank you. Sorry, Lena. Thank you for your time and for being here. And if you have any other questions, definitely feel to reach out on social media and Instagram.
Yes, thank you, Melissa and Gabriela, for coordinating this. And I'm looking forward to next year, and maybe hopefully meeting some of you in person would be great. So yeah.
Yep, me too. Thank you, everyone, especially Melissa and Gabriela. I really appreciate this opportunity and being able to talk to everyone. You can always message me if you have any questions. And just want to remind everyone to never give up and just have patience, and everything will work out for you.